Hi everybody, welcome to Live Blogger. In this tutorial series, we are designing this portfolio website from scratch using HTML, CSS and JavaScript. Now in the previous video, we created this contact me and this footer. Now in this video, we will start making this responsive. So let's get started. Alright, here I'm in my source code and we will add two breakpoints to our design. One is for the tablet and the other for the smartphone. So let's go ahead and start doing that. First of all, I'll just create a comment and let's tap responsive. And here, let's go ahead and create a media query. So I'll just tap @media. And let's tap max width of 1100 pixels. So whenever the width of the screen is less than 1100 pixels, all these CSS styles that we add over here inside this block will be applied to our design. So let's decrease the width of the browser window a little bit. And just for testing, let's go ahead and select everything and let's set the color to red. And now if you go back, here we can see that we have the red color. And if I increase the width of the browser window, we have the default color. So this is the width 1100 pixels. So let's keep our browser at this. And let's start adding our styles. Now the first thing we will do is we will set the size of all this text to a lower value. So if you go back to our CSS and if you go to the beginning, here we can see that for the body we had set a font size of 1.125 rem. So here in this tablet version, let's go ahead and delete this. Let's type body and let's set the font size to 1 rem. And now we can see that we have this text with the size of 1 rem. And here for these paragraphs inside the section, we have added some styles as well. So let's right click over here and go to inspect. And here we can see for all the paragraph inside the section, we have set a font size of 1.125 rem. So let's remove that as well and let's set it to 1 rem. So here I'll just add a comma and let's tap section. So for all the section, we have paragraphs. And now we can see we have the correct size for all this text. Right now let's go ahead and set the size of this logo. So let's go ahead and type .logo because we have this class of logo for the logo. And let's type font size and let's set it to 1.125 rem. And this is how the logo looks. Now for the hero section, let's go ahead and set the size of this heading. So this is an H1. If we go to the index.html file, here we can see that inside our header with the class of hero, we have this H1. So let's set the size of this H1. Let's go ahead and type hero H1 and let's set the font size to 7 rem. Now we need to add some more styles to this hero section to make it completely responsive, but we will do that later. First of all, let's target the other sections in our website and we will completely make this hero section responsive later because we need to add some adjustments to the size and the position of the image as well. So first of all, let's focus on the easier parts. So here we have this about section, and in the about section of the tablet version, we will reduce the gap that we have over here. So let's go back and let's create a selector. Let's type #about, and in the about we have a wrapper. So if you go over here, and if you take a look at the section for the about, here we can see that we have this about section and that we have the wrapper. And the wrapper we have the left and the description. So we had set a display of flex for the about wrapper. And let's search for it. I'll just type #about wrapper. And here we can see that we have set a display of flex and we have set a gap of 100 pixels. Now let's reduce the gap and let's set it to gap of 60 pixels. So this is how it looks, and we have some problems on the right side because of this achievement section, but we will fix that when we fix this hero section. So let's scroll down and then we have this services section, and I think that looks alright in the tablet version. So let's scroll down and here we have this brand section. So let's add some styles to this brand section. What we'll do is we will reduce the height of these images. So let's take a look at the styles of the brand section in our CSS. So here we can see for the brand logos image, we have set a height of 50 pixels. So let's copy this and let's scroll down and let's paste it right here. And let's set the height to 40 pixels, and I think that looks alright. And then we have this contact section right here, and everything else looks alright in our tablet version. So let's go to the contact section, and let's reduce the font size of these input fields and the text area. So let's type hash contact input and hash contact text area, and let's search for it. Let's see what is the size that we have set. Contact input, and here we can see we have set a font size of 1.125 rem. So let's go ahead and set a font size of 1 rem, and I think that looks alright. So with that, we have styled our tablet version, and now only the hero section is remaining to be styled completely. Right now, let's move on to the smartphone version. So let's reduce the width even more. So this is the smartphone version. Now for the smartphone version, let's add a breakpoint. So let's tap add media, max width, and let's set the max width to 800 pixels. So whenever the screen width is less than 800 pixels, these styles will be added to our design. So the first thing we need to do is we need to hide these menu items. So if you go to our index.html file, here we can see we have this division with the class of menu items. So let's hide this. It is inside this nav. So let's go ahead and tap nav, menu items, and let's set the display to none. And now we have set the display to none, and on the right side we need to add an icon. So let's search for the icon, and let's get it from heroicons.com. Alright, so here I'm in heroicons.com, and let's search for menu, and here we have this icon. So let's copy the SVG. Let's go to the index.html file, and here let's create a division with the class of menu icon, and let's paste the SVG over here. And let's go to style.css file, and first of all, let's add some styles over here. Here I'll just create a comment called hidden items. So we'll hide all these items in the desktop version. So let's tap menu icon. Let's set the width to 36 pixels, and let's add a padding of 4 pixels, and let's set the cursor to pointer. And this is how the menu looks. So let's hide this in the desktop version. So if we increase the width of the browser window, here we can see that we have this menu icon. So let's hide it over here. So let's set the display to none. And here in the smartphone version, let's type menu icon, and let's set the display to block. So here we don't have the menu icon displayed, and if you go to the smaller version, here we have the menu icon displayed. And the next thing we will do is we'll just reduce the font size of these headings. So let's tap hero h1, and let's set the font size to 5 rem, and we'll style all the other elements later. But first of all, let's focus on the about section. So here let's go ahead and type about section, and here let's type hash about wrapper. And what we will do is we'll display these elements one below the other. So we will have the image displayed on the top and this text at the bottom. So let's set the flex direction to column, and let's add a gap of 30 pixels. So this is how it looks. We have this about image, and this achievement section is displayed on top of the about section. So let's add a position of relative to that. So right now the position is set to absolute. So if we inspect it, here we can see that the position is set to absolute. So let's go ahead and type hero achievements position relative, and let's search for this. Let's see what else have we added. So we have set a top position of 17.5 rems. So let's remove that as well. Here let's go ahead and type top, and let's set it to 3 rem. Right now let's continue with the about section. So here we can see that the image is on top and the text at the bottom. Now for all the headings inside the sections, let's reduce the font size a little bit. So let's type h2. Let's set the font size to 1.7 rem, and for the first letter, let's go ahead and type h2 : first letter, and let's set the font size to 2.125 rem. So this is how the heading looks for smartphone. And now for the image, we will set the width to 100%, and we'll just reduce the height a little bit. So let's inspect it, and here we can see for the image we have set a height of 400 pixels. So let's reduce it to Let's try 300 pixels. So just tap hash about, and if you go to the HTML, here we can see inside the about section we have the left division, and in the left division we have the image. So let's tap about left img, and let's set the height to 300 pixels, and let's set the width to 100%. And right now the width is not set to 100% of the screen. That's because the width of the left division is not 100%. So let's target that. I'll just type hash about left, and let's set the width to 100%. And now the image is stretched. So for that, let's type object fit to cover. And now everything looks alright. So we have the about section being styled correctly. Let's also increase the padding of all the buttons for all the screens. So I think the padding left and right should be increased a little bit. So let's go to the button, and here we can see that we have set the padding to 0.75 rem. So let's set it to 0.75 rem for top and bottom, and for left and right let's type 1.5 rem. And I think now the button looks good. So let's scroll down, and the about section is styled correctly. Let's scroll down, and we have the services section. Now for the services section, we want these elements to be displayed one below the other. So here we can see we have the content inside the services section, and in that we have the accordion, and after that we have the image. So we want to have both of these one next to the other. Now we have already set the display of this content to flex. So let's target that. I'll just create a comment, services section, and let's type hash services content, and let's set the flex direction to column. So this is how it looks, and I think we don't need to make any more changes in this. It is working all right. So let's scroll down and go to the next section, which is the brand section. So let's create a comment. Let's tap brand section, and we will display all these logos one below the other. So here in the brand section, we have this division with the class of brand logos. In that we have these img tags. So let's go ahead and tap brand logos, and here let's set the flex direction to column, and let's add a gap of 30 pixels, and this is how it looks. Right, next we have this project section where we have these different projects displayed over here. So let's go ahead and add some styles to that. Let's add a comment. Let's tap projects section, and if we go to the project section, here we can see that we have a division with the class of line 1, and in that we have the first 2 projects, and then we have a division with the class of line 2, and in that we have the next 2 projects. So let's go ahead and target line 1 and line 2. So let's type hash projects line 1 and hash projects line 2, and we'll set the display of all of this to grid. And now we can see that all these projects are displayed one below the other, and we'll also reduce the font size of these project descriptions. So we have this division with the class of project description. So let's target that. I'll just type hash projects project description, and let's set the font size to 1.75 rem. So now everything looks all right. Let's go to the next section, which is the process section. So let's create a comment. I'll just tap process section, and let's tap hash process, and in that we have the content. So here we can see inside the process section we have the content, and in the content we have the left and the timeline. So let's type content, and we want it to be displayed one below the other. So let's set the flex direction to column, and now we have the text at the top and the timeline at the bottom. Now we'll just go ahead and display the timeline at the top. So for that we can just use column reverse, and now we can see that the timeline is at the top. Now I think we have added some negative margin top to this timeline, so let's inspect that, and if we have it, we'll just remove it. So here we have the timeline, and we have set a margin top of negative 80 pixels. So let's remove the negative margin top. I'll just type timeline, and let's tap margin top of 0, and now we can see this is how it looks. So everything is being displayed correctly. And then we have the testimonial section. So let's create a comment. Let's tap testimonial section, and here first of all let's target the container. So if you go to our HTML file, here in the testimonial section we have this division of the class of testimonials container, and that we have the testimonial content, and the testimonial content we have all these elements. So we have testimonial image, text, and name. So we want these to be displayed one below the other. So let's target this testimonial content. I'll just tap testimonial content, and let's set the flex direction to column. And I think we have some padding added to the testimonial container. We'll just remove that at the top. So let's right click and go to inspect. And here for the testimonials container, we can see that we have added padding top of 72 pixels, and we'll just remove it. So let's copy this selector and let's go ahead and paste it over here, and let's type padding top of 0. Now here for the quote mark, let's set the left to 0 and let's add a top value. So right now we have these values, top of negative 80 pixels and left of negative 80 pixels. Let's target that. I'll just type quote mark and let's set the top to negative 90 pixels and let's set the left to 0. So this is how it looks. Now inside the testimonial content we have these 3 elements. Now let's decrease the gap a little bit. So here for the content, let's type gap of 40 pixels. Right now this quote mark is displayed a little bit on top of the image. So let's set the Z index of the image. So here we have this division of the class of testimonial image. Let's target that. Let's type testimonial image and let's set the Z index to 2. And now the image is displayed on top of the quote mark. And here we also have this 2 navigation arrows. Let's go to the inspector, and for the navigation arrows we have some margin top. So let's remove that as well. We'll just set it to 0. So let's go back and let's copy this selector and let's paste it over here, and here let's tap margin top of 0, and this is how it looks. Right now the next section is the contact section. So let's create a comment. Let's tap contact section. Now we need to have the full name and the email one below the other. So it is inside a division with the class of group. So here we can see we have this group and that we have these 2 input fields. So let's set the flex direction to column for this group. So I just type contact group flex direction to column, and now we can see all these input fields are one below the other. Right now let's target the footer. So let's create a comment footer, and we want these elements to be one below the other. So if you go to our HTML file, here we can see we have the footer, and in the footer we have the wrapper division. In the wrapper division we have the left division and the right division. So let's set the flex direction to column for this wrapper. So let's go ahead and type footer wrapper, and let's type flex direction to column. And if you go to the footer wrapper, let's see what else we have added to our desktop version. So here we can see we have set the align items to center. So let's go ahead and set the align items to flex start so that it is aligned to the left. So here we'll just go ahead and tap align items to flex start. So now we can see that everything is left aligned. Let's add some gap between these elements. So let's add a gap of let's try 30 pixels, and this is how it looks. Now let's display all these links one below the other. So it is inside this right division. So let's go ahead and type footer right, and let's set the flex direction to column, and let's add a gap of 30 pixels, and this is how it looks. So with that we have completed making our website responsive. Now the last thing we need to do is make this hero section responsive, and we need to also add some JavaScript to display the menu items when we click on this menu icon. So we will do that in the next video. So that's basically it for this video. If you have any doubts, you can ask in the comments below, and if you like this video, please click on the like button and subscribe to this channel to get the latest video updates. Thanks a lot for watching. Have a nice day.